everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's build it. I hope you all are well at your home in this pandemic situation. Please stay at home and stay safe. And I'm very glad that my videos are helping some peoples in all around the world. And I found many comments in the comment section of my videos. They are thanking me. Some people are finding me on social medias and thanks me there. So I'm very glad and thank you so much for your support. Keep supporting my videos. So in today's video I'm going to show you how you can read and write data from Firebase. So we will use our previous project that we have created for authentication using the Firebase. So just let's get started. So here it is, our last project that we have created, authentication using the Firebase. So if you haven't watched my last video that how you can use Firebase to authenticate users, register and login on the Firebase, so you can go and watch my video. I am giving the link in the description, and you can also press the button on the video right now. Okay, so in term of reading and writing of data on the Firebase, so just go on the Firebase. You can see this is my last project that I have created, Firebase auth, and we have enabled the email and password field to authenticate the user. Okay, so now we are going to use the database in this. Here it is. So there are two kind of database right now in the Firebase. First one is Cloud Firestore and the second is real-time database. Okay, so we are going to use real-time database for our project. Just click on the create. So I'm going to use start the test mode. So it want me, you can also select this one, and you can manually change the read and write to true. This is for security purpose given by Firebase. So just let's start it with log mode. Enable. It will bring you to this screen. Okay, so this is it. Here we our database has been created, but it is null right now. So let's go to our project. So same as for the register and login, I'm going to create a database coordinator also. I will select Cocoa Touch classes, click next. I'm going to use, or I can use a simple Swift file here, as it will be a blank class. I'm using a class name like DB coordinator. Okay, just hit enter. Here I'm going to import Firebase class DB coordinator like this. Okay, I'm going to create an instance variable of this class. DB coordinator like this. Okay, so I have a DB coordinator class and I have created an instance of it. So right now, if you gonna use the database object of Firebase, it's not showing you here. For that you need to go in your pod file. We have only Firebase auth. So what we need to do is, I'm going to copy and paste here and type database. Okay, click save. Open the, okay, pod install. I'm going to close this. So it will install the database framework for the Firebase. So you can use the database object. Just again open it. Okay, I'm building it first so it can get synced. So if we want to read the data, first we need to write some data on the Firebase database, right? So before reading, I'm going to show you how you can write some fields of user in the database. Okay, so let me create a function here. That will be function write, and what user need to write is some kind of dictionary, string, and any. Okay, and I also want to add a completion handler here so that after finishing its writing process, it will get back to our controller. Okay, like this. So here we have a write function. I'm going to use a reference of database database ref, like this. Database 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 and so it will give you a reference for your database. Okay, root this is the root reference of your database. With the help of this you can perform operations on your database. So let me use this database ref. First I need to add a child, like in which table we want to save information of users. I'm going to use user info. Okay, so this is the topmost root of database of our table, sorry, user info. Inside this I want to uniquely identify the user info, so I would like to add a user key, user id key. So I will use the guard let user key, like this. Auth, I also need to import the Firebase framework here. Auth dot current user dot uid, else we will return the flow. Okay, if user is not logged in, it will just simply return the this function call. So I'm going to use user key under user info, and next I'm going to set values. So it's kind of any, and I also want to have a completion block here. So just hit enter. We will pass info here, error, and dbref. So where error is if your function is facing some kind of error while writing the information on the database, and the DB database reference is reference for the information you have just written. So in case you want to access immediately after writing what you have write in the database, so this is the reference for that information. So if let error, I'm going to use I'm going to check here if we have some kind of error. I'm going to print it out here. Okay, and simply return the completion block from here. else we have a completion block here. Actually, we don't want an else block here. If we have an error, it will go to this block and print the error and completion will be executed. And if it don't have any error, the completion will be automatically pass the function. Okay, what it is showing, escaping closure capture non-escaping parameter completion. Okay, so we need to make it escaping type. Okay, so this is our function. So where we gonna use this function, we need some kind of controller where user will enter his information like name, first name, last name, age, maybe gender. So I'm going to create a controller here, and I'm also gonna embed it into navigation controller so that we can push user from here to another controller. Okay, so I'm going to use view controller. And embed it in navigation controller again. So in this controller, I think we should show some user details here when after entering the data. Okay, and let me create a class for that also. You can actually arrange these classes into the folder. That seems very nice. I'm creating the video, so I'm not grouping these classes into the folders. What you can do, so this will be list or maybe user info list controller, kind of UI view controller. Okay, so just let me go back and give this controller a class name story.id. I don't know how you navigate between the controllers, but I usually prefer pushing the controller using the navigation controller. Okay, you can use your own way. This is the second controller where the user will enter information and hit the save button, and it will be right into our database of Firebase. So let me create another class here. Add info controller like this. I don't prefer to create a storyboard. I usually prefer to write my code using the constraints in the UI view controller only. I don't use storyboards. I'll show in another videos how you can create the whole controller using the simple classes and the constraints. Okay. So we need text fields here for entering the data. So just put text field here. I'm giving it first name, another field, just copying and pasting. That will be for last name, gender, and age. Okay, so this is last name, gender, and age. Okay, give them some constraint really quickly. Height 34, setting for gender, height 34, and age with height 34. Okay, so these are our fields. We also need a button here that will save all the information we write into this. Give it a name whatever you want. Okay, I'm giving it a background color of some teal color. It looks nice, and the title color will be white. Okay, I know it's not looking very cool, but it's good for right now. Giving it height. Okay, now quickly make its outlets here in the class. It is not shown. Yeah. So text first name, text last name, text gender, text age, and we need a action for save button on save. Okay, we don't need this stuff here. Close it, go to add info controller. On the save button, I need to safely get the all the field values like f name, text first name dot text, let a name equal to text last name dot text, let gender equal to text gender dot text, and let age equal to text age dot text, like this, else in return. So we have all the fields here. So if we unwrap from the fields all the values, and I'm printing them here, f name comma l name comma gender comma age. But first we need to come on this screen. Okay, so we will go to user info list controller. Here we will need to have some kind of button to navigate on that screen. So let me create a add info button on the navigation controller. Okay, so add info UI bar button item, title will be add info, done self, and we'll go give it a selector on add info like this. Okay, I'll create a function really quickly here. Add info. So I'm creating the controller instance. So as we are using storyboard, I'm going to use this old kind of stuff to access the storyboard. And what our controller name is add info controller. So I'm going to pass its name here, and using the navigation controller, push controller, this is it, like this. Okay, and don't forget to add this on the right button item, add info. So I think this is it for this controller. Let me go to login controller. I mean, we have a view controller. So after login, what we need to do is show user list controller. I'm going to copy and paste the same thing from here. We'll paste it here and just change the identifier name on which we want to navigate after the successful login. We don't want to use this user object here. Okay. I think this is it. So after successful login, it will call this action and we'll navigate to user info list. Here we have an action add info, on which click we will go to add info controller. After filling all the information, we will have save button, and on the save button we have to be printed in the console all the fields we have entered. So just let's try to run this project. Okay, so I think we have a user test at the rate gmail.com and its password will be 123456. Just hit login and we should be on this screen. Actually, you can create another navigation controller and push using that navigation controller to avoid this back button. Otherwise, user can go back even after login. So this is just a demo. So I am showing you how you can do this. Okay. On the add info button, we have a new screen. I'm writing here my name, Imran Malik, gender male, age 27. After clicking on save, it should print all the information here. Imran Malik, male, 27. Yeah, it is working fine. So now we want to save this information on the Firebase. Okay, so for that I need to create a instance of our class that we have created, a DB coordinator. So let me create it quickly. Let shared instance, maybe you can give it name DB coordinator instance like this. So using this, what I'm going to do is share dot write info and completion. Okay, so we need a information here, so let me create an info here. The key will be first name. For this we have a value of name. For key last name, we have a value last l name. For gender, we have a gender value, and the last one is age. We have a age parameter value. Okay, I'm passing it here like this. So after the successfully writing operation, the block will come back to here. So you can write your logic here. As we have created a blank completion handler, nothing will come in this block. Okay, but you can perform like stopping a loader or starting a loader from here or updating the UI. So let's try to run it. I know it won't work because I think we have not added keys there, but let's try. Test at the rate.com. Hit on login. Click on add info. I'm writing Imran Malik. Gender will be male and age will be 27. Okay, so let me hit on the save button. it comes to this, and permission is denied. Okay, so what you need to do is go to rules and make it true, and this is also true, and hit on the publish button. This dismay this warning, and let's get back to our project. Try to save again. This time I hope it will work. Actually nothing happening here. Okay, it is saved here. I think our breakpoint won't work here. So when you go to your database, it will show you the user ID of this logged in user, the first name, last name, gender, and age. And the best thing is you can actually update your data, and it won't recreate another field. Instead of it will update in the same thing if it finds already in the database. If you change like last name like this and click on save, it will show in the real time. Okay, so guys, this is it for today's video. I think it is going to very lengthy. In the next video I'm going to show you how you can actually uh, fetch the data from this database and show on our first controller that we have created here. So all the data we have entered in the add info tab, we will show all the users info here in the maybe table view controller. And the best thing is it is real time, so we don't need to fetch the user data again and again. Whenever coming back to this screen, it will populate automatically. Okay, I will show you how you can do this. So stay tuned with my channel. Bye bye.